Tonight, we are hearing for the first time about the victim in a tragedy that happened earlier this week. On Monday, 39-year-old Graham Pope was shot and killed at work. News 19's Sam Perez joins us now in studio with more on who his family says he was.
Graham Pope was working at the JT Kia dealership on Greystone Boulevard when police say they got a call about a shooting a little after 3 p.m. on Monday. Police say they arrived at the scene 4 minutes later and found Pope seated in a vehicle. Police tell us he had been shot several times and he ultimately died. Now his family is trying to honor him by sharing his memory.
But we were so much closer than any other siblings I know.
Brooke Probst, remembering her older brother Graham.
There was a weird sense of pride that I think both of us had, all three of us have, for being getting to say that Graham's my big brother.
When she got the call on Monday that her brother had been shot, Probst says her family found comfort in knowing how strong his faith was.
We knew where he was going, so it was okay, but we were praying for peace on our end after that. He was the most unconditional friend and brother anybody would ever meet. Everybody's best friend. I don't think he ever wanted anything for himself. Every goal he had was to help other people. He was brilliant, the smartest guy in any room. He was hilarious. He was so funny. Just so kind. The world's best uncle. He decided he wanted to be an uncle and a brother and a son for a while. He wanted to focus on that.
Pope grew up in Columbia, where he attended Spring Valley High School. He moved to Chicago for a few years before moving back to the area.
When Graham moved back from Chicago, he wanted to, I think he just wanted to work with his buddies. So that's what he did. He got to work with his buddies, and when everything happened, Andy was there. Andy was the one that held him, and the last thing he heard was his best friend saying that he loved him.
Probst tells me her brother loved baseball, music, and his friends.
I just want to know why. And that's the only thing that, the only answer we don't have. We found out that the guy had been caught while we were in the hospital waiting room. So the investigators say they have the who, what, when, and where. We just don't have a why.
When it comes to the tragic shooting that took her brother's life, Probst says her family is left without answers. Probst tells me they're still processing the loss right now, with the funeral coming up on Monday. Sam Perez, News 19, WLTX.
Sam, thank you. Columbia police have arrested 28-year-old Wesley Gross, who they say killed Pope before leading officers on a chase that resulted in a crash that killed a 34-year-old pregnant mother, Ashley Brown. Just before 1 o'clock today, we did reach out to Columbia police. They tell us that they don't have any additional information, but the investigation is ongoing.